All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, as my partner is eating on the air, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm going against
We
my
got
I'm
another.
going against my own. I yell at people for it all the time, and yeah. So here
Hey,
we are.
it happens to the best of us, man. I've done radio remotes where we were at a restaurant or whatever, and we're eating, and it happens, man. There are those occasions, but it is another Wednesday. It is another edition of Steel City Sports Talk, and as the man that Jim Cornette has made very well known as Sockface says, it's Wednesday and you know what time it is.
It's
Lots to
hump
talk
day.
about, man. Lots to talk about today, Pirates and Steelers wise. Your boy got called up and got put in the bullpen. Bubba Chandler gets called up yesterday, ends up in the bullpen today for a little while. Makes his major league debut, but are you surprised they brought him up for the purpose of putting him in the bullpen?
Well, I think they're still having reminiscence of that horrible spring training, Rich.
Well, I mean, he hasn't exactly set the world on fire during the season either. He has had, I mean, there have been better uh, runs. The Pirates did win today 2-1. So they did exceed our expectations over the last 7 days. We were hoping for 2 wins. We got three. They took two
I
out of three
forgot they
from
were playing a
Toronto.
really. I forgot they were playing a really good team. That's something Pittsburgh does. Is they beat the really good teams and lose to the really really bad teams.
Yeah, they took two out of three from Toronto. They only won one of the three against the Cubs. So they end up going 2 or 3-3 over the last 7 days. Now they start a series with Colorado starting tomorrow, which, as you said, now they play to the level of their competition? Braxton Ashcraft is going to start. You know where Braxton Ashcraft is from?
I'm going to guess since you're talking, I'm going to say Waco.
Waco, Texas. Well, actually, Robinson, Texas, which is a suburb of Waco. It's like 5 minutes from Waco. But shout out to Tom Barfield, the voice of the Robinson Rockets, and my former boss. But three against Colorado at home. Then they hit the road for four against St. Louis. So 6 games again before we see each other this coming week, which is kind of weird. But yeah, they're off tomorrow. So
Glad I
Oviedo
didn't,
pitched today.
I'm
Huh?
glad I didn't wear my Red Sox hat. They're on the
Yeah.
brink.
Yeah, Oviedo pitched today. Pitched pretty well. Um, I wasn't upset with what he did today. Let me get the actual
Thanks,
box
Hoss.
score pulled up. He went 5 innings, 2 hits, 6 Ks, and a walk. So it was solid. The guy that's really kind of pulling it together for me is Kyle Nicholas. Um, I don't know about you, but I think he's he spent a lot of the year in the minors. He was hurt for a little while, but he's really saying, guys, don't forget about me. Because if you go back to last year, he was showing some glimmers of hope last year, and you know, maybe he's a piece that this team can look at for next year, whether it be as a long relief guy, maybe late innings, maybe even as a starter. I don't know, but the guy has a good fastball. His off speed stuff, so but he can definitely bring the cheese. There's no question about that. But it's good to see him back in there. And then of course Dennis Santana coming in for the save, pitched that ninth inning and struck out one. So um, the interesting thing though today, do you realize? And I saw this earlier today, and I went, no, that can't be true. And I looked it up. Do you know who has the highest batting average in Major League Baseball since June 1st?
Oh, it's got to be one of our beloved guys since we're talking about him.
I'll even go
Your boy
further. It's
Gonzalez.
It's your favorite.
Lewinsky.
It's your favorite Pittsburgh Pirate.
Flipping back the flipping bat on a walk guy.
Yep, Tommy Pham, the leading hitter by average in Major League Baseball since June 1st, which tells you something about how shitty he was the first 2 months of the season. When you take into consideration he's been that good and he's only hitting 263.
Maybe he was gambling like a classic.
No. Gonzalez is. If I can get 281 out of Gonzalez, I'm not complaining. I don't know about you, but I'm not complaining. I mean, if I could have gotten 263 out of Pham all year, I wouldn't be complaining. I have. In fact, I told you when they got him, I figured he was going to be 250, 260, 270. I just didn't expect him to hit a $112 for the first 2 months of the season. I don't know who was worse, him or Jock Peterson. Well, no, it was Jock Peterson. He was hitting the O's. I could hit in the O's.
Wow, these 2 losses really didn't hurt the Blue Jays at all.
No. As we sit right now with the standings, I mean, we talked about this a little bit last week. There's going to have to be a major collapse for Toronto, Detroit, Philadelphia, Milwaukee to not make the playoffs. Those 4 teams are 99%, and you can even look at the betting odds for the playoff easy for me to say. Playoff probability. Brewers is 99.9, Phillies is 99.7, Tigers is 99.9, and Blue Jays is 99.5. And I agree with that completely. There would have to be some sort of just epic fail for those 4 teams to not be in the playoffs. Everybody else,
I guess the
Yankees
Dodgers
are 7-3, and they're
I guess the Dodgers are listening to Jason and getting their ass together.
Yeah, Jason, I don't know, man. I mean, you really rode their asses last Tuesday night during open mic night, and I mean they're only 5-5 in their last 10, but they're back in first place by 2 games. And I think that you're going to see them in San Diego both in the playoffs. I don't think that's a question. To be honest with you,
it's that third team that's really going to be the tricky one. It could look like the Mets or the Reds, and if the Diamondbacks get hot,
yeah, but I think it's the Mets, man. I really do. I think we're going to have 2 from the East, 2 from the Central, 2 from the West. Phillies, Mets, Brewers, Cubs, Dodgers, Padres, and call it good. Cincinnati's 7-3 in their last 10. I understand. I was going to say
they're 60s. They played 2 more games too.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the wild card standings, Cincinnati is a half game behind the Mets. But here's the thing that I look, you got to look at the rest of their schedule. And I remember when they came out of the All-Star break, they were saying that Cincinnati has the hardest schedule the rest of the way in Major League Baseball. And they start a series in
Arizona.
I'm sorry. They finished up a series with the Angels tonight in LA. They're in Arizona for 3. They're at the Dodgers for 3. Then they've got 3 home against St. Louis, 3 at home against Toronto, 3 at home against the Mets, Labor Day weekend. At San Diego for 3, at Oakland for 3, at St. Louis for 3, 4 against Chicago at home, 3 against the Pirates at home. Sorry.
You mean Sacramento, sir.
Yeah, Sacramento, my bad. And then they close the season with 3 at home against Milwaukee, which is probably going to be very important to Milwaukee as well because they very probably are playing that series for the division. You look at the Mets schedule the rest of the way, and it doesn't look quite as I don't think anyway look quite as daunting. They've got a series with the Nationals that they're finishing up tomorrow. Then they go to Atlanta, who's extremely disappointing for 3 games this weekend. Home against the Phillies. Then you got 4 against Miami, 3 at Detroit, 3 at Cincinnati, 4 at Philly. That could be a rough 10-day stretch. Then they're home for Texas, who is so inconsistent right now. It's unbelievable. 3 at home against San Diego, 3 at home against Washington, and then they close the season with 3 at Chicago and 3 at Miami. So, I mean, the Mets' schedule the rest of the way isn't quite as daunting as Cincinnati's. But I still think it's going to be the Mets that pull it off. I hate to say that because I had Cincinnati winning the division. I hope I'm wrong. The biggest thing that to me makes the difference in Cincinnati is that guy wearing the jacket in the dugout. Tito Francona, say what you want about the team, about him, whatever. The man can manage. He knows how to win. And that's why I haven't given up on the Rangers, and that's because of the guy on the bench.
Did you see the Manfred news today?
Which Manfred news? The realignment stuff or what?
Yeah, what is this all about? I just saw it now.
He wants to. Well, he has hinted at it for a while. He would like to realign the teams geographically. I've been saying for years that I thought this, and actually I pulled one of these up because I thought we might talk about this. So I
I
actually
just
have
saw it,
this
so
here. And
I'm reading as we go. So,
well, I mean, this breakdown is based off of the teams that they have right now. I've
do they
seen
show
another
it?
breakdown
Do you have a screenshot of it?
on my phone. Yes, I don't have it on my laptop.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Uh,
So the Northwest, they're going to call it Northwest.
um, no, this isn't the one that I was seeing. This one has you would have
This would be Seattle, a Portland expansion team, the Giants, and the Athletics.
right. If you add the 2 teams,
So were they
because
getting rid of the Portland Sea Dogs?
they would probably move them. If you put you could not have a major league team and a AAA team in the same city. You're not going to have enough support for both.
Well, you heard more than this on me. That's why I was asking.
Well, I know the 4 cities they've been talking about, and I mentioned this in open mic a while back. But the 4 cities they're talking about on the eastern side of the country is Nashville or Raleigh, and on the western side is either Salt Lake City or Portland. So, the ones that I saw had the and thank you, Haas, appreciate it, man.
That'd be fun.
But
Rich. That'd be a fun. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Washington on the same division.
yeah, we'll
I
see.
mean, it'd be
The
fun for
one
us
that
because we have Rav. The only thing we don't have is the Washington fan.
right. Well, the thing that I was looking at, and this one would kill the Pirates. This one didn't add the new teams. This one just played with the 30 that we have. You had the Great Lakes division, which is Toronto, Detroit, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Chicago White Sox.
Hmm?
In the Metropolitan division, it's the Red Sox, Yankees, Mets, Phillies, Pirates.
Where are you looking?
This was something I pulled off of where did I find this yesterday? Sportskeeda.
This is off the Cincinnati Reds website. There's the alignment I'm reading.
There's been 50 different realignments on this thing. I started doing one last night and got stuck, or yesterday, and got tied up with work and didn't finish it. But geographically, I mean, it makes there's a lot of them that make sense.
I
But
mean
that
this
one,
this division would probably be the most watched. The Dodgers, Angels, Padres, and Diamondbacks.
right? And see, you're looking at ones that don't add the expansion teams.
Yeah, they do.
No, I'm sorry. You're looking at ones that do. I'm looking at ones that don't.
Well, because Charlotte
Um,
looks like I'm gonna have to contact the Charlotte Bats guy. I had him on the show a long time ago, and he was leading this, and it does say the Charlotte expansion team. I don't know if it's going to be the Bats or not.
well, there has been talk of it. The New York Post has a story out. Here's one that I found that you would have. Let's see. The AL West would be Seattle, Oakland, Las Vegas, and the Angels. The NL West would be the Giants, Dodgers, Padres, and Diamondbacks. The AL South would be, check this out. The AL South would be Colorado, Kansas City, Texas, and Houston. The NL South would be Charlotte, Atlanta, Tampa, and Miami. The AL North would be Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and the White Sox. That would be a fun division.
It wouldn't be in Raleigh though, Josh. It'd be in Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah.
Which I know it's only 2 hour difference, but still.
That's far enough. NL North would be Minnesota, Milwaukee, the Cubs, and the Cardinals. The AL East would be Baltimore, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. And the NL East would be Pittsburgh, Washington, Philadelphia, and the Mets.
That's if they
This is from the
stayed.
New York. This is from the New York Post. No, this is 32 teams. This is 32 teams. You have
Why wouldn't they put us with the Guardians? Why wouldn't they
because you
run
got
this
the
out west?
Guardians with Cincinnati, Detroit, and the White Sox. See, the problem with that, with the realignment end of things, is you have 16 teams in that big cluster from Massachusetts to Minnesota. You got 16 teams, and you don't go any further south than St. Louis. That's half your league, is all in that one area. So you're going to have to put 4 divisions together. And to do 4 divisions, you wouldn't have Cleveland and Pittsburgh in the same division.
Okay.
But I mean, there's a ton of different ways you could do it. I mean, you could really go with a lot of horizontal divisions.
Did you watch the game today? I just have a real quick question.
The Pirates game,
Yeah.
a chunk of it.
Was Chris Bassett on fire?
It's Chris Bassett. What?
Was he on fire? Was like he had 10 strikeouts in 5 innings? That's pretty good for him.
Yeah, yeah. The Pirates struck out 12 times today.
Amazing.
Sawinski had 3. Simon had 2. Gonzalez had 2. Triolo had 2.
When I saw R. Simon, I was like, Randall Simon.
Yeah. No.
All right, so go ahead. Back to your alignment. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, but that's an ultra blast to the past right there. By the way, for those keeping track, Jack Sawinski is hitting 132.
I just want everyone to know, me and Josh were at a game where you didn't have him run.
Blind squirrel nut, broke clock twice a day, you know.
Oh.
And I mean, but then it becomes okay. This is another one of those deals that these people on these message boards absolutely just eat my lunch. They do. Because they squawk and they cry and they moan and they groan about Sawinski and about Henry Davis and about Triolo and that kind of thing, right? Now Triolo
about Henry Davis. Henry Davis is one of the few players I like on this team.
But he's hitting $170.
I still like him.
I understand. I like him too, but he's hitting $170. I said at the beginning of the year, if Sawinski wasn't hitting 240 by the end of April, he should have been cut. So we're way behind on that one. But here's the other part of my question, because they always talk about, and you see this too, They always talk about this guy needs dropped and this guy needs dropped. And you've even said the same thing in a lot of cases. I want to know who goes in his place that's going to be better.
In right field?
Any of them. Because you got Canario right now who's hitting a $197. How is that much better than Davis or Sawinski? I mean, it's not like this team is hitting the ball and they got guys in the minors that are hitting, 340 and that kind of thing.
They don't. We know that. We know that. This team is, and they know we're not getting any more money into this team, Rich. So we might have a lot of the same conversation next year.
But all I'm saying is, all these people that are crying and moaning and complaining about the guys that we have out there now, it's kind of like to a lesser degree, the all-star snubs. Okay, like we talked about earlier this year, Seiya Suzuki got absolutely screwed. And we both would have taken Corbin Carroll out, put Seiya Suzuki in.
Right.
Because of the numbers Suzuki had at the All-Star break. I think it was like 25 and 80.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Okay. But we knew who we wanted to take out to put, or who was going to go into that spot.
Right, but we're talking about all-stars though. We're not talking about scrubs.
But it's the same premise. If you want Jack Sawinski gone in right field, who are you going to put in his spot? That was why when everybody was squawking about Shelton, who are you going to put in his spot? And nobody has an answer for that. Well, if you don't have an answer for it, then deal with what you have. And quit complaining about what you have. If you don't have anything to replace it, quit crying. You got to play the trust me. As much as I don't want Aaron Rodgers in that lineup, and my guy to replace him now has a broken hand who's going to be out for another week or two, I guess I got to deal with the fact that Rodgers is going to start for this team. Okay, fine. I
deal with Mike Tomlin as our head coach, but I do it.
But who would you put in his spot that's going to do better?
Okay, you keep saying that, but the Steelers is a whole different issue. People would be lining up for that job. People would be lining up for that job.
But would they be better than Tomlin? Would they win? Would they have winning seasons like Tomlin?
Look, we all said this, but Rich, we all said the same thing when Bill Cowher stepped down. Who's going to take his spot? Who is this guy they're bringing in?
Mm-hmm.
We all said the same thing.
But it was different, though.
No,
Cowher stepped away. Cowher retired.
Right, but they brought in someone that never coached before. Right. Granted, he was a tight end coach. He won the Super Bowl with Tampa, with Wilcox.
True.
I know that.
Very true.
So he has some grooming and some coaching, but he never was a head coach.
Okay.
So you got to take that chance on someone.
Okay, but let's just for argument's sake say end of the year they let Tomlin go. They bring in Joe Schmo as the
Would you see them? Would you see it? Would you like them to see them bring in Eric Bieniemy?
No.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep it. And I know you're not going to like all right. I mean, I'm just thinking of people like, as coordinators right now. What if they even reached out to Mike McCarthy?
I could see McCarthy as a viable candidate, sure. But here's my question. If they go 7-10, 6-11, using your logic that you've used on previous shows, 2 years of losing records, he's fired.
Well, yeah, sure.
So if you would you rather make the playoffs, have a winning record, and get knocked out in the first round, or go 6-10, 6-11, 7-10, and play the coaching carousel that a lot of these teams are playing? when you know that the Pittsburgh Steelers don't play the coaching carousel.
It's called giving a guy a chance, a new guy a chance, Rich. I mean, we've done it. Who was Newell? Who was Chuck Newell before they hired Chuck Newell?
No, I get it. And to me, I agreed, and I don't remember who said it last night on open mic. I apologize to whoever said it. I'm gonna use your suggestion, but I forget who it was. I think it was Rav. It said Brian Flores.
He did.
I thought Brian Flores would be the next person to replace Tomlin, but Flores didn't want to wait to be groomed to be the next head coach. That it might have taken 4 or 5 years for him to get groomed, and now he's out of a. He's basic. What's he doing now?
Isn't he a coordinator in Minnesota?
Something like that. I mean, he's in the same spot with a worse team. Brian Flores he's in my. Yes, he is. I'm sorry. That's right. He is. DC and Minnesota. So he's in the same situation, but with a worse team.
I hate to say it, but when we get there, Minnesota might be another team looking for Archie Manning next year.
I don't know that McCarthy is that bad. I mean, let's be perfectly honest, Adam. The 3 worst teams in football this year, and I don't think it's even close, are the Saints, Miami, and the Colts.
I had the Colts going 7-10.
I know you did, and I don't know how you found that. Unless Jonathan Taylor has an absolute career year. Hey, if you're right, I'll be the first one to pat you on the back for it. But
you want to know the funny thing? I started doing the AFC West because I thought we were doing the AFC West last night.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, I've sat down and looked, and I have a few teams that are terrible, and I have a few teams that are really good. Most of my teams are somewhere between 6 and 11 wins.
I just don't see the Colts schedule that hard.
I get that, but
they play a lot of these bad teams that we all talked about. So I think that's what led into that.
I just don't see a way that the Colts win 7. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, I could be 100% wrong. I mean, I think Houston sweeps the division and wins 5 more outside of that. But I mean, the Colts should lose to the Broncos. They should lose at Tennessee, at the Rams. So they start 1-3. Maybe beat the Raiders, lose to the Cardinals, 2-4, at the Chargers, 2-5.
What was didn't the MRI come back today on Stafford?
I didn't see anything about it.
Okay. I mean, that's the news we're really waiting. That's the news we're really waiting for. I mean, that
Well, yeah, that makes a difference.
Because it's not like their defense. It's not like the Colts' defense is bad.
No, I mean, I don't think I don't think it's the Colts defense that's the issue. It's the Colts team in general. And I'm not a big believer in Shane Steichen. I mean, I think he's one of those guys that was a really good coordinator that's not a very good head coach. But I could be wrong. I mean, I've got him 3-5 going into the game against Pittsburgh. 3-6.
Hold on. Let me look. Hold on. Let me catch up. I have the Colts at 4-4.
I have them at I have been 3-5 going into the Titans game, or going into the Steelers game.
I have them beating the Rams.
I don't. I got them starting 1-3.
And that was with. I'm assuming Stafford done. I think that's right. I have them beating Tennessee. I have them beating Miami. I have them beating the Rams, losing to Vegas, losing to Arizona, losing to the Chargers, beating the Titans again, and then going 4-4 into Pittsburgh.
Yeah, see, I've got them 3-5 in going to Pittsburgh, losing to Pittsburgh, which is 3-6, beating the Falcons, 4-6, losing to KC, 4-7, losing to Tennessee, 4-8, beating Jacksonville, 5-8, losing to the Seahawks, 5-9, beating the 49ers, 6-9, losing to Jacksonville, losing to the Texans, 6-11 at best.
All right, so we're off on 2 games, and it's making either 7-10 or 6-11. We're off on 2 games.
Well, but they could. I've got them between 4-13 and 6-11.
I mean,
I'm
this is
giving the
my
benefit
full
of the doubt
schedule.
on 2 of those.
This is my full schedule breakdown, and this is
Yeah.
where I'm at. So Josh asked, "What are we doing next week on open mic?" I believe we're doing AFC West,
AFC West and NFC East,
and NFC East.
or least.
So everyone's lawnmower who keeps choking has that Dallas Cowboy sticker on him.
Here's my biggest question.
Okay.
How does the NFL feel right now, knowing that the highest paid quarterback in the NFL is the 3rd best quarterback in his own division?
Who are we talking about?
Dak.
Oh,
Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels are both better than Dak.
I can tell you one person who doesn't care where they're at on that list, and that's Dak Prescott. He doesn't care.
No, right. But I'm just telling you, and he, in the last 2 years, he's lost 2 Hall of Fame offensive linemen. Anybody that doesn't think that makes a difference is fooling themselves.
Right.
I mean, and Pickens is already started garbage. He's not playing well in Dallas. Didn't expect him to. I told you guys whenever the deal was made, good riddance.
Cam Ward's already getting into fights with his teammates too.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Cam Ward's getting into fights because the players aren't playing hard. They're not doing what they need to do. George Pickens is getting into fights because he's a douche. I mean, it's not going to be a pretty deal in Dallas. I'm still trying to figure out who's going to run the ball in Dallas. They don't have a number one. I hear people saying, Jaden Blue. Come on, man. No. Miles Sanders? No. There is no. And the Cowboys had a chance to get one of any of those solid running backs not named Genty in the draft. Genty was long gone. But they could have gotten a Henderson. They could have gotten a Marion Johnson. They could have gotten the kid in Denver, RJ. Help me.
RJ
Harvey. RJ Harvey. He could have gotten any of those, but they didn't.
Well, we knew that.
Right, but
we talked about this forever. We talked about this on open mic. We talked about this here. We all knew that they were not taking a running back,
even though they needed to, because they don't have a running game, which means Dak's going to have to throw the ball 40 times, which also means every defense in football is going to pin their ears back and come flying at Dak. And I will be 100% amazed if Dak plays 17 games this year.
Huh.
I will be the most surprised guy in Texas if he plays 17 games. I really will. I hate it. The bad part is I hate it for him because I actually like the guy. I liked him at Mississippi State. When Dallas drafted him, I was like, hey, they got themselves a decent quarterback, and it was, third round, fourth round. Okay. But he's gotten stuck with Dallasitis.
You mean
There it
moneyitis?
is. Well, that too.
I mean, he was playing so much better before he got paid.
They all do.
I was just going off of stats here, Richard.
I understand that, but that's the problem. These guys play like gangbusters, most of them, almost all of them, play like gangbusters till they get paid and then they back off. Which is why I have said on more than one occasion that the guaranteed contract is the worst thing to ever happen to professional sports.
Right. It makes them not want to play. I wouldn't want to play either.
Exactly.
I already got my money.
Should be on a year to year.
I agree.
With incentives.
So,
You throw for over 4,000 yards, you get an extra X amount or whatever.
So we saw who it finally was, Rich, in a second round. Why is Pat Fryermuth still on his team?
Loyalty. I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean,
we have
you
a
made the
huge
comment.
tight end. We have a huge tight end depth.
Yeah, but you made
Washington's
the
got to
comment
be
last week that Pat Fryermuth is this generation's Heath Miller, and you're right. And he's beloved like Heath Miller was. I think that that's what it is. I really do.
I love Pat Fryermuth, but to get a weapon like that for your second round in Pat Fryermuth,
Would I have made it? Yes. I'd have made that deal.
nothing against Pat. Nothing against Pat, but
No, nothing against Pat. But I can very easily move a younger Connor Hayward into that tight end spot or
no.
Darnell
No,
Washington, either one.
You moved Darnell Washington into that spot.
Either one. And then, you've got McLaurin and you've got Metcalf
And
and
Austin.
you've got Jonnu Smith.
And
You've
Austin.
got Jonnu Smith, who's a hybrid.
Right. Unbelievable. Yeah, when you sent me that today, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why? I would have pulled the trigger.
And I would have too. When I saw that, I was like, man, I got to send this to Adam. It's crazy. It really, honest to goodness, is. Because I would, you asked me last night during open mic about the first and Hayward, and I said no, right off the shoot. This one, I would have said yes. Here, sign here. What number would McLaurin like to wear?
Right.
No real questions about it. Now, granted, I would also have to make sure of something else at the same time, which can make it kind of difficult for the Steelers too.
We're talking about that
If
contract.
I'm going to make this deal for McLaurin, I dang sure got to make sure I get Hayward taken care of with his contract.
Okay.
Because if McLaurin's going to require 30 mil, I've heard 30 mil a year.
That's what I heard too.
You dang sure better be putting 15 in Hayward's pocket. And I think he's making what? He's scheduled to make 11.
But I mean, Hayward's good, but I mean, how long is he going to go? And I think that's the part. I think that's the Steelers' biggest concern.
Yeah.
It just seems like they're trying to let him go on his terms. Because we both know, Rich, Pittsburgh is good at talking people to retire.
Well, and I think I firmly believe
we watched it with the great 26. We watched it with Palomalu. And now I'm kind of getting the feeling that that's what they're trying to do with Cam.
I still, and I've said this more than once, I still think that Cam's done after this year. At the most 2026. But I really would not be the least bit surprised if he's done after this year.
I mean,
if
how
the
much gas
Steelers
is left in the tank? How much gas?
Oh, I think there's still gas in the tank, but here's my thing: if they won the Super Bowl this year, he's done.
I love Cam.
EUN
I
done.
love Cam. He's a great
I
player.
do too.
Great player. But me and you both know that this is what the Steelers try to do.
You're right. You're 100% right, and that's why I say I think because he's what 35, right?
Right.
I think he's got 1 year this year, maybe next year. But I also think they win the championship. It's church. He's gone. I'm not saying they're winning the championship. Don't misconstrue anything I'm saying about that.
You said if.
But at the same time,
So in case the people try to quote you on something, he said if.
right. And I'm not putting the assertion out there that I'm picking the Steelers to win the Super Bowl either.
Well, I don't even know
My
what are our
heart
odds. What are
always
our
does.
odds? What you had the odds up earlier. What were our odds to win the Super Bowl?
Let's see. I think it was 40-1, but let me look. Let's see. Care to make a wager on who's got the best and worst?
Well, the worst got to be the. I'm going to say the worst is going to be the Jaguars.
No, actually, the Jaguars are only 75-1, tied with Seattle, New England, and Miami.
Okay, so that means that we got to go lower. I'm going to go Carolina.
A lot lower.
Lower than
Carolina's
Carolina.
150. Carolina's 150-1. There are 5 teams with worse odds than Carolina.
Jesus, we haven't gotten to the whole season. We haven't gotten to everything yet.
Uh-uh. The Jets, the Giants, the Browns, the Titans all are ahead of my lovely wife's New Orleans Saints. 300-1 odds to win the Super Bowl. Care to take a guess on who's got the best odds?
I'm going to say the Bills.
It's a tie actually at the top. Philly and Baltimore at 6.5-1.
Did
Buffalo
Lamar
is
Jackson
seven to
get hurt
one.
today?
I didn't hear anything about that.
I don't know. It came across my sleeper app that said Lamar Jackson went from question or healthy to questionable.
Um. Injury scare during training camp practice. He's okay.
Okay.
But yeah, Buffalo's 7-1, KC 7.5-1, Steelers are 40-1. Their projected win total is 8.5.
There it is. My son was on it.
So he looks like the projected worst win total is Cleveland 4.5. Jets, Giants, Titans, and Saints are at 5.5. Eagles, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, all 11.5. They're the best ones.
Be that.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's, it is kind of interesting. 18-1, you got the Commanders and the Bengals. But it's always funny. You see ones kind of in the middle of the pack that make you kind of go. If I was in Vegas right now,
I would throw
I would be
20 bucks
making
on the Steelers.
I would probably do that just because of my heart, but my head, 25-1 Chargers and 25-1 Texans. I put 20 on both of those.
Well, when I was in Vegas, was that 2009? I was seeing 311 with my cousin. I was like, I'm throwing 20 bucks on a Steelers. I was hammered. And yeah, held on to that ticket. Or no, the first year. What was that? 2000. 2008.
What, Tomlin's first year?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
08.
catch. The catch by Holmes. Holmes in the end zone. I was ready to rip the ticket up when Fitzgerald caught that ball right down the middle.
Yeah. Well, I know when I was there in 09, I got a chance to play in the World Championships of Fantasy Football. And I actually won my league. I didn't win the big tournament that was like after the fact, but I won my 12 person league. And got manhandled after that. But we were looking at the odds and all that kind of stuff,
Was
and
it
I
like a
watched the
redraft
guy.
or something for the playoffs?
No, you kept your team, but all the
How'd you get
league winners got there was 58 or 59 leagues. All the
Right,
league
but how did you
winners
get
got
manhandled if you won your league? How did you get like were people just
because I
trading in
was
the other leagues or what?
no, I finished like 57th because all the league winners got put into one pot. So you still had your team,
So what
but
did it do? Turn
but
into
you're
like a best ball?
no, it just turned into multiple people had the same person. So you had all the league winners competing against each other in total points. You see what I mean?
So that one person had that one breakout player that all the other players didn't get.
Maybe so. Yeah. I mean, I had Steve Slayton that year. That was the year Slayton went absolutely berserk, and that's what won me the championship.
Now,
And I
is that
won.
a double prize, Rich? Like you won your league? Did you win extra
I
for
won
going to
five
the?
grand for winning my league. I won 5 grand for winning my league. But the over that was through week 14 or week 15. I'm sorry. No, week 14.
What did you do? Have
Then
like
you
a
had
9 weeks?
weeks. Hmm?
What did you do? Have like an 11-week season and playoffs 12 through 14?
No, we had 12 we had 12 games. Playoffs were 13 and 14.
So 4 teams made the playoffs,
4 teams made the playoffs, yep.
and then
And
it
then
went winner
15 and
winner
16 and then you put 15 and 16 was a 2-week cumulative best
total,
total points.
like
And I
ESPN does.
finished like and I finished like third from the bottom. That's why I say I got manhandled. It was poor. My guys were just not good those 2 games, and I was like, oh God, thank God I won the league because I didn't win nothing in the other one. And
It's
to
still
win
fun
the
to be
big
in.
big
It's
deal
still
was a
fun to
million
be in that.
bucks.
It's still
But it would
fun
have
to
been a
be in that
million
stuff.
bucks. Yeah, it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. And I was doing a fantasy sports show in Memphis at the time. That's why I flew out there because Jeff Erickson, the guy that was in charge of the whole thing,
He's
was
the
on
yeah,
my show every week.
he's the
Huh?
Jeff Erickson. He does Sirius now, right?
Yeah, he does RotoWire. Yeah. He used to be on my show every week. And when this whole thing came up, they flew me out there for me to be in this thing and paid for my entry, put me up at the MGM where the draft was and all that. And I think I still have the sheet from my league. I'll have to try and find it for next week and bring it out because the big trigger with this league was no trades. You could pull free agents off the waiver wire, but there were no
Well,
trades.
yeah,
Once you drafted, you're done.
right. Well, if there would have been trades, that's whenever. That's why I was asking. Did the other players stack their team? That's why I was asking.
Yeah. No, it was a 10-person league, and
So the waiver wire was actually hot.
it was, but the draft was I want to say 20 rounds.
That's a deep bench.
Yeah.
Was it a super flex or just regular?
Right. It was regular. Quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, a flex, a defense, and a kicker.
I like the super flex instead of a kicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like Dynasty now that I've been doing Dynasty for the last couple of years. I really like it.
Dynasty's okay. Dynasty's okay. The
I
big thing with
maybe because it's different.
the big thing to me with Dynasty is you have to make sure the league's going to stay together. Because if you're changing pieces and parts in the Dynasty League every year, then it's no use in doing it. You may as well just redraft every year.
So far, I've been I got invited to take over a team, so it was like a new owner.
Yeah.
And my team is absolutely garbage in that league, and I just laugh every time I look at it. So I just laugh. Like I have all these backups, and I'm just hoping that something. I don't want anyone to get hurt, obviously, Rich, but at the same time, I have the backups to their needs. Let's just say it like that.
You have the handcuffs, huh?
Yeah, and I'm like a piece away, you know.
Yeah.
And everyone laughs at me, but I'm horrible in this league. Like one day,
I've
I'll
got
figure.
some revenge to take out this year on one of my leagues. The other one, I've got to defend myself. I'm a division champion, and I came in third overall in that one. But my other league, I came in ninth out of 10.
Oh, you almost had to
Not
wear
happy.
you almost had to wear the costume. I suck at fantasy football.
No, we didn't do anything like that. But the bad part was that the way we did our picks, the ninth place player, which was me, gets the number one overall pick. The
What?
last place person is still in the 10 hole.
That's weird.
It's different, but it saves you from tanking. Saves you from a
So
complete tank.
in that league I'm in, I found out you could be in first place with like the lowest point total and still
Okay.
get first pick. Whoever has the lowest point total, they base it off that in this league, not your record. They base it off your points.
Okay.
It's different. It really is.
Man, if I had $1 for every league I was number one in points and didn't win the league, I'd be a wealthy man. Um,
I think we
the
all would.
worst one, we did a split season baseball league one year. I was number one in points both halves and did not play in the championship series.
All it takes is that 1 week to be off, and you're done.
I was 11 shades of pissed at that one. That was just all kinds of craziness. I was
So
just,
Rich is the missus telling you we got to go because it's 10:09. I know we started late, but
no, I
that
mean,
was
we're good
funny.
for about another, we're good to get to an hour.
Okay. I was just curious because I know we started late. I was running late at work.
Yeah, no, she's working, and I got work stuff I got to finish up and that kind of deal. So we bought a second radio station, so now I have a station in Enterprise, Alabama. For those of
You
you
were
folks
saying
listening in that area, yeah. So now we've got Albany, Georgia, and Enterprise, Alabama. Retro FM on both. 101.1 in Enterprise and 102.1 in Albany, Georgia.
you need to see if you can run our show on one of them.
Yeah, there you go.
Pick up some
We do run high school football on both of them.
man. Yeah, that starts what this weekend.
No, it started last weekend in Georgia. Starts this weekend in Alabama. Next weekend in Texas. But yeah, it started last weekend in Georgia.
That's unreal.
Yeah, they have 2 off weeks. The last week of the regular season is October 31st. They have 2 off weeks. Excuse me.
Josh's high school starts Friday. The Edison Wildcats, who has the
Yeah,
same emblem as Kansas State.
and my dad was a TJ Jaguar.
I think it's funny. Like I didn't realize how many schools in Western PA were named Indians.
Oh yeah,
I was like, what?
Ringgold was the Indians.
West Allegheny Indians. North Hills.
You know the most famous alum from Ringgold, right?
Neil Walker.
The greatest
No, he was
quarterback
Pine
to ever
Richmond.
live.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, Ringgold High School. Yep. Yeah. And then I'm trying to remember, Marino went to North Hills, right?
No, he went to Central Catholic.
Central Catholic, that's right. And Dorset was Aliquippa.
Yep.
Trying to remember where Namath went.
Just gonna ask you. I don't know where Namath went.
Um,
I'm sure we could research it.
yeah, I'm checking it right now. Beaver Falls.
Beaver
Beaver
Falls.
Falls. Yeah.
What high school?
Beaver Falls High School.
Now they had a Beaver Falls High School.
Yep. It says Beaver Falls High School. And then
Well, I mean, and then we got the Fort Cherry grad and what was that? Marvin Lewis.
yeah, and Jim Kelly went to East Brady. Yeah, a lot of people, it's funny, we talk about college teams that crank out positions and that kind of deal. Southwestern Pennsylvania high schools cranked out a ton of quarterbacks before Texas started cranking them out. I mean, now you've got, I think it's a third of the league. It's either a third or half, excuse me, either a third or half of the NFL played high school ball.
West Allegheny had Tyler Palko.
Mm-hmm.
I know he didn't really shine, but he still played and did a lot of clipboard. Hey, he made a lot of clipboard money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Palko was a really good coach, really good person too. I never met Tyler though. I met his dad many times. Tyler was younger than me, so I never met him.
Gotcha.
Kirk McMillan, kicker for the Bengals.
Yeah.
West Allegheny High School.
As of the state of Texas in 2024, and that's the closest I can find right now, had 6 starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
In 2024,
Dalton was starting for Carolina.
Oh, Andy Dalton.
Hurts, Mahomes, Mayfield, Murray, and Stafford.
That's still the greatest game, Oklahoma or Texas State and Oklahoma. Texas Tech. I'm
Texas
sorry.
OU. Texas OU is the Red River rivalry.
The Patrick Mahomes and the Baker Mayfield shootout, 69-66.
Yeah, but that was Texas Tech, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech.
Right. Was that the greatest? Was that one of the best shootouts in college?
Yeah. There was another one with Baylor and TCU that Robert Griffin played in. Baylor beat TCU 61-58. And that was a back and forth fight. I was at that one. I covered that one.
Did both quarterbacks throw for over 700 yards that Texas Tech game? Josh just said throwing for over 700 yards is crazy, but he didn't say the name.
I don't think they did.
That's still crazy. Even if one threw for 6 and the other one threw for 7, that's still absolutely insane.
Yeah, it was 66-59. Mahomes threw for 734. Mayfield threw for 545.
Wow. Who was Oklahoma's running back then?
Say again?
Who was Oklahoma's running back?
Oklahoma's running back.
Well, yeah, Baker only threw for 567. There had to be some
Was
running.
it Murray? Um,
Might have been. It's still wild. They threw for over 1,200
let me
yards.
check. Texas Tech.
DeMarco Murray does sound about right.
I think it was DeMarco Murray. 2016 box score. Joe Mixon was the leading rusher for OU, and Patrick Mahomes was the leading rusher for Tech. Really good wide receiver from Cameron, Texas. D.D. Westbrook caught 9 balls for 202 and 4 for OU.
Yeah, when Baker gets locked in, he gets locked in.
For Tech, and I don't know if you remember this guy playing for. He was in Houston. I don't know if he's still there or not. But Kiki QT caught 10 balls for 172 and a touchdown.
Kiki.
And then Jonathan Giles caught 10 for 167 and 2 in that game.
That's unreal. That's unreal. That was a hell of a game.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the running game for Tech in that whole season was Mahomes.
I mean, can you say instant classic?
Oh, no question. It was a great game. Great game. Oh no, there will be no living down the LSU Tech game. I'm a Tech guy. I'm a guns up guy. So, Texas Tech, LSU. My wife is an LSU fan. So yeah,
So does she watch Marcus's show? I'm just curious.
Say again?
Does she watch Marcus's show? I'm just curious. She's a Bayou girl.
No. She doesn't. She honestly, the only thing she watches out or listens to out of this is my half of our shows. That's because she can hear me in the other room.
So she hears over Mike sometimes too.
Pretty much.
But she has no idea what the other people are saying.
No. No, in fact, about the last hour and 15 minutes of the show last night, she was in the same room, sitting in the rocker over my left shoulder.
I thought someone was in the room with you because you kept looking over that way.
Well, I was looking at the TV. I wasn't looking at her.
Oh.
The TV is to my left. By the way, Rangers 3, KC 3, bottom of the 8th. They got to win this one. They can't.
Yeah, if Texas loses this one, they're going to be in bad shape.
I mean, they're 6.5 out of the wild card spot right now. It's not.
And they're what, 3 back? They're way back in the division now.
7.5 back in the division.
It's become an Astros and a Seattle gamble out there now.
I've been telling everybody. I've told everybody.
Dude, you don't have to tell me. I picked Seattle in the beginning of the season.
I know, I did too.
And I didn't say they had to have their bats alive or nothing, Rich. I just said I'm taking Seattle because I like Seattle.
Well, yeah, I mean, I liked Seattle, but I was hesitant because of the bats, and I still think that Houston is going to crap out. The pitching that they're throwing out there right now is not going to hold up. It's just not. And Taylor Trammell straight ran in just headlong into the fence tonight. Tonight.
You all right?
And he's getting evaluated for a concussion. They carted him off the field. I mean, he just ran. He ran headlong into it. Hmm?
Was he moving?
Oh yeah. They started to walk him off the field, and then I don't know if it was his knee or his ankle was giving him all kinds of crap. So, but yeah, I mean, they've got Hunter Brown, who is fantastic. Framber Valdez is really good. McCullers has been horrible here the last little while. Arrighetti has been horrible. And Christian Javier, you're flipping a coin.
Right.
You know, and they've got Hader on the DL. So, and I just don't think Houston has the horsepower to win that division. Seattle's only a game and a half back. And
I thought they were half game back.
nope, game and a half back. As of right this second, they're a game and a half back.
Oh, I thought I saw a half game when I looked.
And tonight, Houston's playing Detroit again. Seattle lost to Philly tonight, 11-2.
Okay, so maybe
And
your stats were updated then, and mine weren't.
Well, the Tigers beat the Astros 7-2. So the Astros are 69-58. The Mariners are 68-60. So yeah, it's a game and a half difference.
Copy that.
But Houston's getting ready to start a series with Baltimore this weekend. They start tomorrow. Seattle starts a series at home against Oakland Friday. That's a big series, man. Oakland can play spoiler big time on that one. But and people better watch out for Oakland in the next couple years.
So Rich, I'm going way off topic because I wanted to get your thoughts. Is WWE using TNA to get ahead of AEW?
Restate the question again. I want to make sure I'm right with my answer.
Is WWE using TNA because they just bought them, right?
They didn't buy them. They've got a partnership with them.
Okay, so are they using TNA to try and get ahead of AEW now?
Yes. For whatever reason, WWE / TKO is concerned about AEW. They have made 2 moves in the last couple of weeks that have me sitting here scratching my head that they're really scared of these sons of guns. The first is that they're scared. I think they're scared of the company for whatever reason.
Okay, here's an outside thought. Is it because Khan has a lot of connection overseas, over in London? Do you think that's what's driving this? The force?
No.
I'm just curious.
No.
I'm just curious because there's got to be something that drives. And I would watch WWE before I watched AEW.
Right. And I think what they're trying to do is hold down AEW before they get to the point where WCW was, where they were beating them and that kind of thing. John Cena's last match is scheduled for December 13th on Saturday night's main event. The same night AEW has a pay-per-view. They scheduled the Saturday night's main event to be the same night, and it was scheduled after the AEW event. They scheduled Cena's last match to go up against an AEW pay-per-view. And they've done the same thing with another event, and they did the same thing with All In July.
Is that what started the main event to go up against AEW in the pay-per-views?
No, but this particular one being Cena's last match.
Right. But like, I was just saying, like, because WWE was only what, Monday and Friday, and now if there was a pay-per-view,
well, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, because you had NXT on Tuesday.
I'm just talking about the big boys.
Depending on who you talk to, NXT's.
I know they're getting NXT there, but I'm talking about the upper class right now. I know NXT is getting big, but like, do you feel they went the main event on Saturdays to draw crowds from the pay-per-views?
No, I to a degree maybe, but they brought it back to have another night of WWE television out there. I don't know if you remember when they ran Saturday night's main event
It
once a
used to be
month on
Saturday. I
Saturday
remember
night.
Saturday mornings.
No, no, no. This was in the 80s and early 90s.
Right. Wasn't that when
And
they ran? Wasn't that when WWE ran Saturday mornings at 10
yeah, they
p.m. at 10
ran
a.m.?
soup yeah, they ran like Superstars or something where they had a bunch of squash matches and that kind of deal, or All American Wrestling. At one point, this was before the Raw and SmackDown era, you had All Star Wrestling, you had Championship Wrestling, and you had Wrestling Superstars. And all three of them were shows that were nothing but squash matches, but they had all the big names on there. And then they'd have interviews with some of the guys and that kind of stuff.
I
Then
remember
you had
watching some
Tuesday
Mean
night.
Gene and
Yeah. Then
Bobby Heenan.
you had Tuesday Night Titans, which was that show that started out being hosted by Vince McMahon and then was hosted by Gorilla and Bobby. And then that show, they kind of morphed that show off the air and put started doing Monday Night Raw. Um, Saturday night's main event though was a once a month deal that was on NBC in the late 80s, early 90s. That was a fill in for Saturday Night Live. It was a rock and wrestling thing, and they had really good matches on there. All the matches were main event matches, hence the name. But it was off the air for like 20 something years, and WWE brought it back a few years ago. In this case, they're using it for Cena's last match instead of using it a PLE for his last match, which would make it. Me personally, I would think it's going to be a PLE, but it's not. It's going to be Saturday night's main event in Boston on December 13th. Well, okay, but that's going right up against an AEW pay per view. They see the challenge in AEW because of the names that AEW has gotten and has got. But they want to make sure AEW stays where they are and don't grow anymore. They've got the relationship with New Japan, they've got the relationship with CMLL, which is great. But when it comes to networks, when it comes to these kinds of things, they want AEW to be stuck where they are and no place to grow, which is why the ESPN deal with them is so big. Because now they've got Disney ESPN, which is also ABC. They've already got the Universal deal with USA and NBC. And then, of course, they got the Netflix deal. So, Warner Brothers Discovery, yes, there is CBS capabilities as well. There's also the Fox conceivabilities. NXT's on the CW. So you've got that relationship for WWE. They're trying to get themselves spread out as much as possible so that AEW doesn't have any additional avenues to put their programming, like Ring of Honor, like CMLL, like New Japan.
So I have one more question on
Sure.
wrestling because I don't know, I got carried away. Do you
No problem.
feel the WWE should have put Jade as a heel instead of a hero? Kevin
A who?
Nash on his podcast, Jade Cargill. Kevin Nash on his podcast the other day said
Yeah,
she should be a heel.
yeah, he's right. And I heard that. Yeah, he's right. Um, the problem is a lot of times, and you're seeing this with Dominic Mysterio, the best heels become baby faces. um, I mean, at one point, Dominic was getting booed out of the arena. He couldn't talk. He was getting booed so loud that
I'm
he
not.
couldn't
I
talk.
was never a fan. I'll be honest.
Jade was getting that way in AEW. She was getting booed out of the building. The problem is with Jade. It's multiple problems. A, she's horrible on the mic. She needs a manager. Realistically, she needs a Charlotte as a manager. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but that type of person who can do the talking for her. The other part is that she's so flippin' green, and they brought her straight to the main roster, which is what really kills me because I watch a woman like Jordan Grace, who has been stuck in NXT, has more athletic ability than Jade Cargill. And yes, I'm saying that. She's not as big as Jade. She's like 5'4". Jade
I was going to
Cargill,
say she's huge. Jordan
yeah, but
Grace
she's
is
only like
huge.
5'4".
I mean,
She
she's
is.
huge. Like, she's built.
I understand that, but she's 5'4". Jade Cargill is built and 5'10". And in those eyes up north, that makes a difference. Even though the woman that has carried the WWE strap for quite a while is 5'2" in Io Sky. And you can tell the difference when she's standing next to Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair or somebody like that. The team they had her with Bianca was fine because Bianca could talk, Jade could stand there. Not a problem. If Jade is a heel and you put her as a manager, it's also easier in the ring to be a heel. It's easier all the way around for her to learn as a heel, for her to develop herself as a heel, stuff like that. She
Okay. I was
didn't
just
learn a
curious.
whole lot, huh?
I was just curious.
Yeah, she didn't really get a whole lot of development in AEW because they brought her in like Goldberg and just had her kicking everybody's ass, until she lost. And you knew she was leaving when she lost. It was one of those, okay, win, 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 win. We know you're leaving, lose.
Huh.
Okay. And then they put her on the main roster right out of the box. She never spent 30 seconds in NXT, which is a problem. Because if she would have had a chance to work with some of the women there, Mickey James, people like that, she could have fine-tuned herself a little bit. Jordan Grace was ready. When she walked in, she had no business going to TNA. You could tell when she was in the Royal Rumble. She was ready for prime time.
I thought she was.
And I think they're using her to kind of carry the women's division in NXT. While they have Blake Monroe, who used to be Mariah May in AEW, and JC Jane, who I think is extremely overrated. But, Jordan Grace is kind of the star in that division right now, her and Lash Legend. That's
Okay.
what you have to look at with that. I think Kevin Nash is 100% right.
Me too. All right, Rich. Well, we didn't talk much Steelers today.
Not a ton, but I do know this much. Mr. Johnson better make sure he lives up to that number he's wearing.
What number do you go with?
20.
Dwight Stone.
Dwight Stone.
I know. He's in the background of your picture. I get it.
I'm actually working on getting Rocky to do the show.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
But so yeah, you can find me at Sports Talking on Twitter, guys. Driving to the Top Productions. We forgot to put the emblem up again. I did. I missed it. Did you see Rab's? Did you see Rab's emblem?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Rab's emblem?
Yeah.
I like that. I
Got
like what
both
he
of
did.
them.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get me over there on Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube. Hit that like, subscribe button, guys. Hit the notifications. That way you can get all our content that we let go and release. Yeah. Are we
And you can
getting
huh?
are we getting the free agent wide receiver? Who do we bring in?
What?
I don't know. I didn't see anything. Josh, where are you getting this?
I'm not seeing it on ESPN or NFL. Or on Twitter for that matter.
Yeah, I don't know what Joshua was talking about.
No, either.
Yeah. Joshua. That's my son spitting the word.
But anyway.
All right, Rich, how people get you, buddy? I know we got to get it rolling here. It's 10:30 here, 9:30 there. And you got work to do. I got to get ready for bed because I am destroyed.
Yeah, Twitter, Big Rich 8371, or on Facebook, just my name, Rich Richardson. And Monday nights, yes, I will be back Monday night as we get ready for the NASCAR playoffs. The
Josh was
last
asking.
regular season races are this weekend at Daytona, so we'll be getting playoff discussion going this Monday night. 2-tire change, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Tuesday open mic night with the Driving to the Top guys. We'll be previewing the AFC West and NFC East. And then Wednesday night, we'll be back here, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, do another talk about this. And hopefully, talk about a really good week for the Pirates and the Steelers.
Right. Let's do it. Rich. Well, I will see you Tuesday night. I might stop in Monday night, depending on what time I get home. I probably won't jump on, but we can talk out off stage.
Sound like a plan, man.
All right, buddy. Yeah, hit that out. Let's go.
All right, dude.
Stick around for a